thrive in line with extant circulars. He said the ministry was focusing on mobilizing private investment for infrastructural development. Now, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control says preparations have been concluded to start massive surveillance on drug hawkers in Kaduna State. Kaduna State Coordinator of the agency, Nasiru Mato, disclosed this in an interview with the News Agency of Nigeria on Wednesday in Kaduna. Mato said that drug hawking was a major concern to NAFDAC and the state. He said that the complete ban of force and all medicines must be kept at the appropriate temperature as prescribed by the manufacturer to achieve the desired efficacy and potency and, of course, safety. Now, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says the state government will not enact a bill for financial autonomy of the judiciary. The governor maintained that it will be futile to bother the State Assembly with such a bill, since the 1999 Constitution, as amended, already recognizes the independence of the judiciary. Governor Wike made this assertion at the dinner in honor of delegates to the 61st anniversary conference of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, held at the Banquet Hall, Government House, Port Harcourt on Monday night. This was contained in a statement issued by Kelvin Ibiri, media aide to the Rivers State Governor on Tuesday afternoon, titled "Why Rivers Won't Enact Bill for Financial Autonomy of the Judiciary." Governor Wike. Now, the governor noted that since Nigeria does not practice a unitary system of government, it would be wrong for the federal government to issue directives to states on how they should run their affairs. Anyim Pius Anyim has finally revealed reasons why the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, arrested and detained him. Anyim, in a statement via his media spokesperson, Sam Mubose, revealed that he came to the commission on his own volition to clear his name after he was fingered in a corruption case. According to the statement, quote, Anyim Musa Nuhu issued the warning in a letter dated October the 25th and addressed to accountable managers in Lagos on Wednesday. The Nuhu decried the worrisome trend and vowed to take action, stressing the importance of the aircraft cockpits and stating that it was a sterile working committee on environment for the pilots. The Director General warned that any violation of non-compliance with the directive would result in the imposition of applicable sanctions on both operators and flight crew. Now, the management of Federal College of Education, Yola, has shut down the institution in proactive action to forestall breakdown of law and order in school following violent protests by the students. According to reports, the students were protesting poor living conditions on campus. The students narrated that the situation got worse when the industrial borehole broke down and the management allegedly did nothing about it.
He said that so. He is in the engine room right now, 11 o'clock, and he's going back home now. He assured me that in the morning, 4 tank trucks of water will come into the college. And within a short period of, like, he told me that 12 noon today, the management will fix the generator.
Then we got worried that so that should not the situation not to get out of hand, management sat back, an emergency meeting was convened, and then in the interest of maintaining peace and order, decided to close down the college. The students were given time to vacate, and then we communicated to the Adamawa Command to help us intervene.
Now, the Ogun State chapter of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) on Wednesday blocked the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway over the bad state of the road. The protesters carried placards with inscriptions like, we don't want palliatives. We want good roads. Dapo Abiodun save our souls from bad roads. And we are not slaves in our country. Emmanuel Bankole, the NLC chairman in Ogun State, said the union was not happy with the condition of portions of the Lagos-Abeokuta Road and its environs. The chairman said the 21 days ultimatum given by the NLC to Babatunde Fashola, Minister of Works and Housing, after his visit to Sangota had lapsed. Bankole said Fashola had promised to commence palliative work on the road, but nothing much had been done since then. Fumi Isesi, chairman of the Lagos chapter, remarked the protest was long overdue. The Ogun State Police Command on Tuesday arrested 4 students of Community High School Ijon in the Yewa North local government area for conniving with hoodlums to launch an assault on their teachers on Monday. The identities of the students were not revealed during the press release by the police, but the suspects were alleged to have masterminded the attacks carried out on Monday. It had been reported that several hoodlums stormed the school and brutally assaulted teachers, Messrs. Stephen Onyelekon and Oyedele. And now the hoodlums were armed with guns and they acted on the instructions of the students. A number of them were also armed with sharp weapons such as machetes and axes. They invaded the school and swiftly targeted the 2 teachers. The command spokesperson, Abimbola Oyeyemi, had confirmed the attack, saying investigation was still ongoing to decide the next step to be taken. The Clean Foundation has presented its findings of its gender audit report on protection services, shelters and safe homes for survivors of human trafficking. The acting executive director of Clean Foundation, Ruth Olofi, during the presentation said the project seeks to support and strengthen the gender responsiveness of interventions by the National Agency for Food Prohibition and Trafficking of Persons, NAPTIP, and other relevant or government agencies.
The report is a long overdue one because the issue of gender is one that is actually being mainstreamed globally. And for us in the agency, it's a laudable development and we're happy about it. It's one that will help every safe house and caregiver to know that gender cases are supposed to be treated with utmost importance.
We know that when people when they go through issues, they become traumatized. So what are those things you have to do? And if they are not available, what are the things you do, like referral? So it's good like NAPTIP is here and UN Women sponsoring this kind of a audit report. I think one of the things we are proud of is the inclusiveness in everything. We should not expect that only one particular agency will do something. So in every ministry, in every department, in every agency, what are the specific things you can do for this, to contribute to this? So that is what we should do. When we pull those things together, you know that a drop of water can make, when you pull it together, can always make a mighty ocean.
We want to prevent trafficking of women and girls in Nigeria, and also to engender a policy, a gender policy environment in the country around the issues of human trafficking, forced migration of women and girls. There are minimum standards that we need to adhere with. So this piece of research is throwing more light into the entire debate of greater protection of women and girls and providing gender sensitive, services to these persons.
You're watching News Now from iBrandTV, Lagos. We'll take a break now and return shortly with more stories. Stay with us.
Most people don't understand the magic of the perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
You're welcome back. African News Now. The African Union said Wednesday it had suspended Sudan until civilian rule in the country is restored, saying it rejected the military takeover as an unconstitutional seizure of power. The continent-wide bloc said it strongly condemns the seizure of power and was suspending Sudan from all activities until the effective restoration of the civilian-led transitional authority. Sudanese General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan on Monday ordered the dissolution of the government and declared a state of emergency, sparking widespread international condemnation. Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok was placed under military arrests along with his ministers and civilian members of Sudan's ruling council, sparking angry protests on the streets of Khartoum, the capital. State oil company workers and doctors in Sudan said on Wednesday that we are joining protests against the military coup that has derailed the country's planned transition to democracy. Thousands of people have taken to the streets since Monday, taking over, led by armed forces of Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and several have been killed in clashes with security forces. A group of neighborhood committees in the capital Khartoum has announced plans for further protests, leading to what is said to be a march of millions on Saturday. In one Khartoum neighborhood on Wednesday, our Reuters journalists saw soldiers and armed people in civilian clothes removing barricades erected by protesters. Meanwhile, the World Bank said Wednesday it has suspended aid to Sudan following the military takeover that deposed the Prime Minister. It was the latest blow to the impoverished African nation that had just won its way back into good standing with major Washington-based development lenders after years in the wilderness. The United States also suspended aid to the country. Foreign news now. The European Court of Justice imposed the penalty after a week-long war of words in which Poland told EU to stay out of its judicial affairs, while other EU member states insisted that Warsaw could not continue to hog subsidies while disregarding the bloc's democratic and rule of law principles at will. Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo sworn Poland not to treat the EU like a cash machine. He spoke at the opening of the College of Bruges, an academic well of European thinkers. The Court of Justice decided to siphon off some of those subsidy funds, saying the daily fine was necessary in order to avoid serious and irreparable harm to the legal order of the European Union and to the values on which the Union is founded, in particular that of the rule of law. The EU's Executive Commission had requested the penalty until the Polish government acts to improve the functioning of the Polish Supreme Court and suspend new laws deemed to undermine judicial independence in the country. Coming up next is business news.
Hello and welcome to Business News. I am Frank Omolape. In the first 24 hours after it was unveiled, the central bank Naira has continued to attract the interest of Nigerians, with about 200,000 wallets have so far been set up, while 23,650 merchant wallets have been opened, a reflection of interest the innovation has continued to attract. It is expected that in the coming days, the amount will rise as the Central Bank of Nigeria intensified awareness on e-Naira. Buhari has said with the e-Naira, the country's gross domestic product was projected to rise by $29 billion in the next 10 years. Meanwhile, a business developer, Olushola Popola, has emphasized the impact the e-Naira will have on businesses and by extension the economy. Popola was speaking earlier in the day on Business Breakfast.
Almost 3 months or thereabout that I've started it. The thing that you want to look at is this. Why should I not take it? There's no reason. If it's security, it's secured. because you know, there are levels of transactions that you take on them. Less than 50,000, you just need your NIN number, and above 50,000, you need your PVN to transact. So whether you like it or not, this is going to be, it's just like you having the cash, the paper money. But this time around, you have access to it digitally. And as a business person, I want ease of transaction. That's why the cryptocurrency and everything came then. You want ease of transaction. You want to be able to transfer money. You want to be able to move money. So for now, I would, it would be a good and great idea if most organizations, it's not as if after the 90 days, the cost is going to be so high. No, it's not going to be too much of a cost, so to speak. But then, why don't I save as a business person? Any little naira, any little amount I can save in my business, I think is welcome. So if I have some money in the account now, I want to meet my bank. Okay, can you transfer maybe 50% of my deposits into my account, naira account? So it will cost you nothing, but it will cost you, no matter how little, something. If you don't, because this is what we get to a point where every business, you even go to the market, people want to buy pepper, and the pepper person is saying, give me naira.
Away from there now, experts have called on the government and the capital market operators to ensure capital market development is captured in the federal government's growth plan. Speaking earlier on our business breakfast, CEO APT Securities Garba Kofi tasked government to initiate strong implementation strategies to capture more players in the sector.
Before 1990, we have only very few players in the market. It was the Bureau for Public Enterprise that bring the First Bank, the Union Bank, the UBA, the Afrobank, many companies into the market. And the oil company like African Petroleum, which is Ardoba now, the corn oil, which was National Oil Company, many of them were released to the public. And that single act transformed the entire market capitalization. Our oil share index before 1990 is less than 1,000.
Right.
By 1992, we hit 1,000. By 2000, we hit 10,000. And today, you are talking of 41,000. Remember in 2008, we hit 66,000, the highest ever in the history of the capital market. So, if the government will now privatize the discos, the GEMCOs, the NLG gas, the NNPC, you will see how the capitalization of the market will increase, and you will see more participating, because when the government sell, you will see the people take position. And from there, that transform the company into something else. We never forget the coming of MTN and Airtel. These single two companies has really transformed our market into something else.
And now the Nigerian